Hello everybody and welcome to the Narrative Dossier. Please note, what I'm telling you here, I'm telling you from a right-wing perspective. I also get my information from right-wing news sources, and what I'm telling you here may change or be adjusted in the future when new information comes in. Today we're talking about Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, the man without friends in Parliament, a failure and on his way out. The British elections were held on July 4th, 2024. And with a historically low turnout of only 60%, the Labour Party was elected. Although the Labour Party celebrated this as a victory, they should have looked more closely at the figures and reconsidered their position. While a majority of votes were against the Conservatives, that doesn't mean people voted for Labour. The 20% vote was a very low one, but with the low turnout it seemed like they had gained a lot of seats. By comparison, the Conservatives' 14% was much lower. Prime Minister Keir Starmer is incredibly unpopular. Recently, during the PMQs, the so-called Prime Minister questions, he saw the scapegoat for his mistakes in handling the economy. He even made his own Chancellor of the Exchequer, that's the Minister of Finance, Rachel Reeves, cry, sitting right next to him, by dropping her so hard he could save his own skin. Worst of all, he showed absolutely no humanity. But what's actually going on? Well, Britain is over its neck in debt, probably even exceeding 100%. Now, they had a plan to cut Social Security. This was, of course, roundly rejected by Parliament. The strange thing is that Starmer gives the same amount that he wanted to cut from Social Security out to Ukraine. Would it be so crazy not to give it away instead of squeezing his own people? However, not a single MP raised that question or offered a clear solution. That should be a disgrace, but politics in Britain is probably asleep too. According to Sky News, which had already spoken to 2 Labour MPs, Starmer should resign within a few months. Considering the major problems facing the UK, Starmer hasn't become the solution, but rather the problem. He's using an old political trick, shifting the blame to someone else, and in this case that's Rachel Reeves, to buy him a few weeks or a few months, hoping it passes over. But it won't stop his downfall. For those who have never watched a political debate in the UK, it's highly recommended. There's something very graceful and elegant about the old British traditions, especially when someone shouts, "Order, order, order!" But what's especially fun to watch is that when they have to debate, they first sit down while the other person speaks. When they have to speak themselves, they stand up with a folder on top of them or in their hands, putting it down their speakers, and when they finish, they sit down again, and this process repeats itself every time. Now, let's take a look at Keir Starmer's scandals. September 2024. He was faced with the acceptance of a gift he hadn't declared. This gift was clothing worth several £1,000s, given to his wife. Naturally, this raised a few eyebrows, but it went even deeper. Subsequently, his time as Labour leader was also scrutinized, and it turned out that since 2019 he had accepted more gifts than any other MP. Another scandal surfaced, this one, oddly enough, related to Taylor Swift. You can't make it up. This was related to her London Eras tour. Now, many members of his cabinet, and even he himself, had received £20,000 worth of tickets in exchange for high-quality security. Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, allegedly pressured the police to provide this security. What made matters worse was that they were already pursuing cuts and Social Security cuts, yet they themselves were accepting gifts. Political rhetoric always comes into play at such times, and of course it's claimed that political donations were perfectly normal. But why would an American pop star make a political donation in Great Britain? He himself even claimed he had to show hospitality for security reasons. This is simply unbelievable and you can't make it up. Now it's also alleged that Taylor Swift threatened to cancel the concerts if she didn't receive top-level protection. All of this was done from a rational perspective. After all, there were terrorist plots in Vienna targeting her. Ultimately, they all denied accepting those tickets for the security of an elite agency. But I'm curious what you think, leave a comment, and if you like the content, subscribe. By the way, I'll leave some links down below, so you can do your own research and you can check it out yourselves, if you like. Ciao!